So, let the story begin. 6 months ago, I was flying to Sweden for a university exchange that would shift so many of my perspectives introspectively and would ultimately shape the life that I envisioned to live out in my 20s and beyond. On my third day, I just bought a journal, and it was my first real opportunity to look inwards and really tune in to how I was feeling. In my journal, I wrote, "The last 3 days can be summed up in one word: refreshing." The self that I'd lost for years, the endless question marks and lessons are all starting to make sense now. You see, I hadn't realized how much weight I'd been holding in my chest and how really burnt out I was back home. I was running on fumes from being in an environment that was no longer clicking for me. Everything was just so difficult. I was lost. Even if I found the solutions to things through listening to thousands of self-help podcasts or people on repeat, things just never worked out. I couldn't create the relationships that I wanted. Tall poppy syndrome. Absolutely nothing was working. And I know that sounds awfully pessimistic, but that was reality. But like a switch, everything changed purely from just changing my environment. It was at this moment that I realized how draining my previous environment had been, but more importantly, the fact that it's rather hard to heal in the same environment that made you sick. It was day 3 and I wrote word for word, "Indeed, in this season of life, I strongly feel my destiny to live somewhere else. Home away from home is the current vibe that I'm feeling." Bearing in mind, this is only day 3. But oh my, nothing prepares you for how crappy Scandinavian winters can be. Well, some suffered from seasonal depression. I was just so happy because I was constantly spending time around people that I clicked with. Friends who I could have deep conversations with, small talk and all in between.
Yeah.
Friends who weren't just there to catch me when I fell, but who celebrated my highs even louder than I did, treating my wins as if it were their own. Friends that were genuinely interested, curious, and cared about every sentence
God, you're not so much
that came out of your mouth. They were the people I had been searching so desperately for back home, but for some reason never came. Here in Sweden, it just came easy. It was just meant to be. It was truly the happiest I've been in my life, and I'm not trying to romanticize this experience because obviously I had shit days as well. But I can't help but feel a longing to keep running in pursuit of finding my people away from home because it just makes me feel good. Actually, I'm curious now. Are you one of those people who is just happiest when they're living far away from home? If you are, I can defo relate. Fast forwarding to more recent times, on my flight back home, I felt this strange sensation of unease, this lump at the back of my throat. The idea of coming back home as a changed person to an environment that I was previously bogged down in, an environment that hasn't changed one bit, was pretty overwhelming. I know it's only a matter of time until my chest starts feeling heavy again, which I'm already feeling as I make this letter. So if there's one thing I've taken away from this journey, it's that home is not a place, actually. Home is the people who make you feel loved and cared for. And for me, home is still out there, waiting to be found. Con Amor, Hugh.